Destiny 2 is going through a little bit of a weird period right now because it's kind of fun again. Earlier this month, Bungie introduced their Into the Light content, and it's been a fun experience in my opinion. I've actually looked forward to playing Destiny again up until this dropped on, I think it was April the 9th, and it runs through June the 3rd. All I've ever done with Destiny lately was just play with friends on the weekend. We'd raid, and then that's about it. Destiny had reached a very stale point for me, at least personally, and I wasn't too excited about it. So now what's different is this new Onslaught mode. It's sort of like a mini horde mode. 3 players get into the activity and just go to town. You gotta survive 50 waves, and then you get rewarded every 10 waves after defeating a boss. It's such a simple concept. It is ridiculous that it hasn't been in Destiny since now. It's just so simple. Why is this not been a thing before now? One of the best things that Destiny 2 has going for it is just how much fun it is for the gunplay. You know, shooting enemies is so satisfying, and there's so much variety in the weapons. So why don't you give us more things to shoot? Keep throwing things for us to shoot in our faces. Don't let up on it. And that's what it seems like every activity is. Everything just sort of trickles out, and you just sort of poke away at them, and it's not really a big threat. But with this Onslaught mode, it's especially with like the Midtown map, that's the one that I'm really enjoying right now. That one is just with all the corners, and it's sort of a smaller confined space, and enemies will just rush out of nowhere, and you're just overwhelmed, and you're battling the chaos. And I love the chaos. I don't know any other way to put it. I think it's kind of great that finally we have something like this in the game. Once again, I don't understand why it took so long for us to get something like this in the game, but it's a fun time. And I know that this is supposed to be sort of short-lived. I think June is when all of this goes away. I hope that this is just the foundation or the base for this activity to continue on. I want to see more of Onslaught, but not just Onslaught. I think that there's a lot of potential for them to expand upon this and go forward with even more good stuff. Give us that full-on horde mode that just never really ends, and the longer you go, the more rewarding it gets, and the more difficult and challenging it gets, and it's just chaos. And it's nice to just have something that's enemy after enemy, throw them our way. Let's just use every weapon in our arsenal and just go to town on these guys and have a blast doing it. I guess alongside that is the return of a lot of some of the more memorable weapons from Destiny 2. I haven't really gotten a lot of the god rolls. I did get one shiny, which funny enough is the Edge Transit. It's probably the one that I care the least about. But that's another cool thing to be able to chase, these shiny versions of the weapons that have extra perks on them. So there is a reason to keep chasing for some of these more rare weapons. I know that Mountaintop is coming back, and Recluse, and while these things are sort of shadows of their former glory, it's still really nice to see them in the game, and it's nice to have new perks to chase after and just something meaningful to do. And some, I don't know, the way that they've been trickling out the story activities from the last season, for example, or the current season, it's hard for me to keep up with the meaningfulness of it and the chase of it. It's kind of like Final Fantasy 15. That was a game that I did play through. I did enjoy it, but it really, the story didn't resonate with me because you just sort of have this very catastrophic type of event occur in the beginning of the game, and then, hey, 4 dudes, let's get in a car and go on a road trip and just chill around in the countryside, and the story is just sort of on the back burner. And then eventually you get to the story, and at this point you're thinking, wait, what was this all about? What am I doing? Why am I here? And that's how it feels like with a lot of the formula that Destiny has come up with, or Bungie has developed for Destiny 2. And I just don't enjoy it nearly as much as once did. Just drop the entire DLC on us and let us have fun with it. And that's what it feels like this is. I know that we don't have all the weapons yet. They're sort of time gated a little bit. But the activity is here. There's no crazy story that's getting doled out week after week that we have to keep up with and wonder why we actually care about it. It's just, hey, go out there, have a blast. Reminds me a lot of the 30th anniversary pack, the activity with Zur, Dares and Fraternity. That was sort of a lighter version of this in a lot of ways, where you just have a lot of enemies that you deal with, and you are getting showered with heavy ammo and just being able to use your special and just have fun shooting enemies. It's just something that I love to see. I'm glad to see that Bungie is embracing this philosophy with the Onslaught activity. I hope they continue to build upon it and give us even more good stuff related with just plowing through hordes of enemies. Give us a full-on horde mode. Oh, some of the additional things you can do with it, like buying the turrets and buying the decoys. I don't know, it's just fun stuff. This has all been going on, and I just wanted to talk about it. It's something fun. It's exciting in a lot of ways because it is fun, and it's something to look forward to in the world of Destiny 2. It is free for everyone, so if you don't own all of the campaigns or the DLC or the seasons, doesn't matter. Just load up Destiny 2 and dive in. They've even added a chest in the new activity area, the social space with shacks. There's a chest that'll give you gear so that you can boost right up to the power level cap, which is fantastic. So even if it's not for this activity, if you've got friends who you used to raid with, for example, and they want to go through Crota or King's Fall, they can hit this chest, get right up to light, and then dive right into one of the free raids, or maybe the raids that they purchased with previous DLC. And you can just hang out and have fun again and, enjoy Destiny 2 for what it once was, because it sort of feels a little bit more like what it used to be. And I hope that this is just the beginning of some of the cool stuff that Bungie is going to give us, and that maybe, just maybe, Destiny 2 has a little bit of a bright future ahead of it. But I guess we'll find out after the next expansion and the stories that come along with it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. See ya.